Don't forget to check out and grab your copy of our 2 newly released books, Football, a Love Story, and What Did Football Teach Me? These books feature over 100 stories from current and former coaches, players, executives, and entertainers from across the football landscape, describing what got them involved in the game, what they love about it, and what life lessons the game taught them. You can find your copy or order your copy from our website at footballgameplan.com/books. Welcome to NFL Game Plan. I'm Emory Hunt, the czar of the playbook, bring you our Week 7 preview between the Atlanta Falcons and the Tennessee Titans. And we're going to be joined by our Football Game Plan analyst, Teron Davenport, Gene Clemens, and also Chris James. But first, let's start this video off by taking a look at my keys to victory. Starting with the Falcons in this ball game, I would get a little bit extra aggressive defensively. Marcus Mariota is a little bit injured coming into this ball game with the sprained MCL, so he won't be as mobile. So you, as the Falcons, can get a little bit more aggressive in how you attack him in the passing game. And I would also play Vic Beasley, your outstanding rookie pass rusher, over their rookie right tackle, Jeremiah Potowski, who's struggling right now with consistency, and I think that's a battle Beasley can win more often than not. And no cheap plays giving up to this Titans football team. Last week versus New Orleans, they gave up the block punt, which ended up being a touchdown, which was the turning point of this ball game. You can't let a team like Tennessee have those same luxuries in this ball game. Otherwise, you can find yourself losing this one as well. And for Tennessee in this ball game, I think it's going to be important for Marcus Mariota's quick passing game to be first and foremost for this offensive attack. Again, he's not 100%, so he won't have the luxury of sitting back there in the pocket and doing things with his legs. So that quick passing game has to come out firing on all cylinders versus Atlanta. And you want to own your gaps up front defensively. You can't allow those guards of the Atlanta Falcons to get to the second level. Otherwise, they can continue to have a lot of success running the football. And also, back to the offensive side of the ball, I would stay in the 8 sets. That's 2 tight end sets versus this Falcons defense. One thing it does, it widens out their pressure, and it also makes you balance on both sides, which then can allow you to run the football much more effectively and shrink this ball game. This week versus the Tennessee Titans, I think Atlanta can have some success up front, getting pressure on the quarterback. There's a new center starting for Tennessee, and Andy Gallick. I like him a lot. I think he's a tremendous player, but this is his first game starting in the National Football League. And I think the Falcons can't take advantage of that with a delayed line stunt. I'm showing you what we're talking about here. Simple cover 3 type coverage. We're going to be well protected underneath. We're going to have the free safety drop back in his deep third. As the cadence starts to wind down, we're going to have these corners walk back a little bit, and then they're going to drop in their deep third. Walk back, drop back in their deep third. And we're just trying to influence Andy Gallick into a bad choice. And so what we're going to do is run a delayed line stunt. We're going to have the nose tackle crash hard in this A gap. But what we want him to do is attack this inside shoulder. We want to occupy both Gallick and the guard. Why? Because, again, a delayed line twist. We're going to have this tackle work over. And he's going to attack the weak side A gap. And he's probably going to be the guy that we want to spring free, this 5-tech right there. And he's going to run contain over this way. We're going to send this backer off the edge, hopefully pulling this tackle here. So you see where we've created an opportunity for this guy to be free on a pressure, and that's what we want. He's dropping and hook the curl. He's dropping and curl out. Hook the curl. He's dropping and hook the curl here. He's now dropping in the curl to out region. We have everyone dropping back in their deep third. So it's cover 3. Pre-snap, it looks like tight cover 1, but we're going to bail those guys back as the cadence starts to wind down. Influence Gallick to go strong side. We're looping this guy around a delayed line stunt on the weak side, and I think that's one way. Let's say in the third and medium situation, 5 to 7, they can get pressure on the quarterback in Tennessee and try to get these guys off the field on third down. Opening up the Titans playbook, they had to insert rookie center Andy Gallick into the ball game last week versus the Miami Dolphins due to injury, and I think he performed very well. So now as he gets to start, I think the Titans' future is bright along the interior. I was a big fan of his game coming out of Boston College. You're going to see right here, I think when you look on the inside with he and Chance Warmack, they're going to work well together. I think when you look at the right side, if Jeremiah Potowski picks up his game, then they'll be able to run the football to both sides. You see right here versus Miami, an example of him in a running game, getting outside. When you have a center that can get out there on the move like that and throw a block, that's exactly what you want as an offense. 9 times out of 10, offensive teams don't have centers that can get out there on the move, and they have one now in Andy Gallick that I believe can excel on both ends of offense.
All right, so now we have the Falcons taking the road to face the Titans in Tennessee. My X factor for the Falcons is going to be Devontae Freeman and Tevin Coleman. These are guys that have combined to form a pretty formidable running game. They're going to have to do that against this Titans defense that is giving up a lot of yards rushing a game, but their pass defense is pretty good. So it's going to be important for them to be able to establish the run. Maybe that'll give them some options of play action to get the passing game going downfield to Julio Jones, get Roddy White on the crossing routes, and you can't forget about Hankerson as well. So X factor for the Falcons, Devontae Freeman and Tevin Coleman. As far as the Titans are concerned, my X factor is Kendall Wright, and we don't know if Mariota is going to play quarterback or Mettenberger, but whoever does play quarterback, what they like to do is get the ball to Kendall Wright and allow him to use his yards after catch ability. So he's going to be the X factor there. Let him catch that short pass and get you some yards after he makes that catch. At the end of the day, I don't see the Titans winning this game regardless of whether they have Mettenberger or not. I think this Falcons team is going to come back from the loss, and I have them winning 35-10.
Atlanta has been firing on all cylinders this year. If I'm coaching the Falcons, I'm telling them we must continue to establish this dominating run game. We want to have people worried about Freeman, worried about Coleman, and less worried about the people who hit home runs like Julio Jones over the top. I believe if that run game stays consistent, then you'll find Ryan hitting Julio Jones over the top for a few touchdowns. If I'm on the other side, Tennessee, I have to find a way to get a run game that's really been non-existent this entire season going so that I can take the pressure off my rookie quarterback. It's the same thing as with Tampa Bay, with Tennessee. You want to get Marcus Mariota going with some short and intermediate throws, get his confidence going so that he can have more success when he goes up over the top. In the end, I like Atlanta to win this one pretty easily, 35-14.
The Atlanta Falcons travel to the Tennessee Titans in what normally would be a trap game in a perfect scenario for the Titans to pick up a victory. Well, Marcus Mariota likely has a sprained MCL and may miss some time, so things might not go the way that they planned initially. But for a start for the away team, those Atlanta Falcons, I'm going to go with Julio Jones. He's going to get the requisite targets, and now that he's a little healthier, it should work out for him, and they're not going to get to buzzsaw like they faced in New Orleans. My sit is Leonard Hankerson. Seems inconsistent, and Roddy White championing and pushing for more targets takes away from Hankerson's targets. As far as a start for the Tennessee Titans, Delaney Walker. No matter who the quarterback is, they're going to work that intermediate guy. They're going to work the guy in between the hashes because it is easiest for any quarterback to work with a tight end. So sit, Marcus Mariota. Again, part of his effectiveness in fantasy is his ability to run. He can't do that this week. As far as the sleeper, I'm going with the Atlanta backup running backs. I expect them to try to salt this away as they get an early lead, a 21-0 type lead, and they'll put in the backup running backs in the fourth quarter and end up doing something there. Final score in this one, Falcons 34, Titans 14.
I like the Falcons in this ball game. This is a football team that's able to operate with tremendous balance. They're running the football very well with Devonta Freeman. Coleman can come in and get some quality reps, I think, versus the Titans defense. And when you look up front, the Falcons are firing off the football. They're able to climb to the second level. I think their running game will be the reason why they knock off Tennessee. And as we recap our picks, it's a clean sweep from our group here. We're all going with Atlanta. Although Tennessee's defense, I think, can make it interesting early, but look for the Falcons to pull away later on in the contest. And we also want to give a huge shout out to Falcon fan forums and Titan fan forums for always showing football game plan support.